Hey everyone, it's Christoph here, the Bearded Detailer, and I'm here in my garage with the all-wheel drive taxi, aka my wife's vehicle, or my toy. And I wanted to give a little demonstrational video of how to decontaminate, specifically decontaminate coatings. This car has been coated with Opti-Seal Pro Plus, and we're coming up on the 1 year mark, and I try to wash this car at least every other week. 2 times a month is what I try to go for. I've gone as long as a month. I'm not proud of that, but it happens. Things come up. You can't be expected to wash these cars every week. But if you have to, when you do go to clean it, you should be using the proper things. Now, what we're going to be using today, and I already have a bucket set up down here with 2 gallons of water and an ounce of Optimum No Rinse. So you will need a bucket of water. You'll need Optimum No Rinse. I'm using the Wash and Shine. If you have the Wash and Wax, you can use that as well too. I prefer this one. It's just my preference, because if I'm going to wax afterward, I'd rather use Optimum Spray Wax, and it's as an individual, or Opti-Seal. So you'll need Optimum No Rinse. You will need a spray bottle of ONR. Now, when I do spray bottles, I put an ounce and a half of Optimum No Rinse in the bottle of water. So I believe this is a 24-ounce bottle, I think. Yeah, 24-ounce bottle. I have some 30-ounce bottles, same thing. I just use an ounce and a half. Or 3 caps. If you're using the 32-ounce bottle, the cap is a ½ ounce, so you can use that as well. So 3 caps in here, 2 caps in your 2 gallons of water. I also have Optimum Power Clean here as well too. This is a 3-to-1 dilution ratio, so this is a 30-ounce bottle. I fill to the 10-ounce mark with Power Clean and the rest with water. You will also need Optimum Ferrex, and it is an iron deposit remover, and we're going to use it as a decontamination tool this time around. And I'm also going to have Optimum Paint Prep here, and I'll go into why. And I also have Optimum Car Wax here as well too. Now, another thing I have, 1 second here. Now, another thing I have in the bucket here, I have my Big Red Sponge, which is from Optimum as well. It is a microfiber sponge with little cavities to help lift and shed the dirt away. I strongly recommend that when you wash your vehicle with Optimum No Rinse, make sure your sponge, or whatever wash medium you're using, whether it's a microfiber towel, a wash mitt, or the sponge, make sure it has been soaking in Optimum No Rinse for about 12 to 24 hours. I leave mine sitting in a bucket all the time. I have a second bucket that I leave with ONR, and it stays in there all the time. Another thing that I have is, I forget the brand name, but it is a Nano Mitt, and I use this for clay. This stuff works really, really well. Nano Skin, it says right there. So I have that. It's available on Amazon. I can put it up on my profile later. But I'm going to show you a couple different ways that you can decontaminate the surface here. So this car does not have catalytic converters. It is a 6-cylinder. It's a pretty dirty tune. So the back, as you really can't see it in the video, but there is exhaust particles all over the back here. Being that it's a white car, I can see it very well. I'm used to it on this car because we've had it for 6 years, so I'm just used to it. So other colors you may not be able to see as well, but chances are it's still going to be there. Even cars that do have catalytic converters can still have the buildup back here. And I will start off by saying one of the main reasons why people want a ceramic coating, or even for that matter a very good wax, is because they want to see their car being glossy, and they want their car to have be hydrophobic. They want to see the water beads. They want to see the water repel off the car instantly. And while, yes, this is probably the only way for you to visually tell if your coating is doing its job, typically what happens when people stop seeing that happening, they assume that their coating is gone. And I'd say unless you're within that mark of when that coating is supposed to last, whether it's a 2, 5, or 7-year coating, if you're close to that time, then yeah, probably. Maybe it is gone. Maybe it isn't. Who knows? But like I said, we're in the 1-year mark for this car. I see it very often on the rear, specifically because of the amount of, I'm going to say soot for lack of a better word, but carbon that comes out of the exhaust pipe, all the contaminants that come out, and also road. The way hatchbacks are designed, there's a big vacuum that pulls everything in the back here, so a lot gets built up back here. And because of that, I see it being not hydrophobic altogether. Now, the whole reason why the coating is there in the first place is to give resistance to UV rays, chemical resistance for any sort of non-organic material, and organic material as well too, and water resistance, of course. So usually every time I wash this car, I will use Optimum Power Clean to knock off a lot of the dirt, usually on the sides, bugs. I'll hit the bugs with this. And this is just an all-purpose cleaner. It's a general purpose. It does very, very good with a lot of different stuff, inside and outside of the vehicle. But one thing I do use the most on the back of this car is the Optimum Ferrex. So it is an iron deposit remover. Works really well on wheels. Obviously, your brake pads have what they're made up of. This breaks down super well, and there's more of it in that area than anywhere else in your vehicle. But you're still going to have a lot on your vehicle. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to stick to only half the car. It's going to be tough, but I'm going to try. I'm going to do this area here. Now you can apply Ferrex in a couple different ways. You can apply it dry. The vehicle is dry. It's been about, I think, two weeks or so since I've washed this car, I think. You can apply it dry. If you're applying it dry, I do recommend that you make sure the temperature is cool. Cool to, you don't want it to be hot. Don't do this when it's out baking in the sun. This stuff will stain. It becomes a mess when you have to try to clean that up. It just sucks. So you can also apply this once the car has been rinsed off. So you can rinse it with a hose, pressure washer, and then apply this. You can do that. It's about 80 degrees in my garage. The air conditioner is going. But 80 degrees, humidity is fine in here. It's not too bad. It's tolerable. And the car's been sitting in all night, all day yesterday. So I'm just going to spray this on. The big thing too is kind of keep it away from, I just filled this up, so there we go. Try to keep it away from glass if you can. It's not horrible if you get it on the glass. It's not bad. But that and Power Clean can stain the glass very well, and it becomes a pain to try to get it off. Now what we're going to see is, first of all, because it's a white car, I'm seeing all the exhaust particles running down. But anything that has any sort of iron in it is going to all of a sudden turn red. The Ferrex will turn red once it's reacted with it. It's going to be hard to see in the camera, but it is happening all throughout here. And once you start seeing a good amount of red, again, you don't want this to dry, so you want to get to it before it dries. And that's all going to be based on temperature. I will rarely use this stuff on a bright, sunny, hot day. Now, it's in the 90s here today outside, so that's why I'm doing this inside today. You can see everything's starting to turn red here. So I got a good amount of buildup here. Now this is a chemical decontamination. Like I said, I do this on this car every time I wash it. So you're going to get your sponge just dripping a little bit. You don't want too much in there of the O&R. And then no pressure, and you're just going to wash. I did another video about this as well too. You want as little pressure as possible. Now what you can see here is you're not seeing any of those hydrophobic properties with this. You're seeing it kind of lay flat, and during the Ferrex process, this is going to happen. This is normal. Ferrex, when washed, will kind of give you, at first, it'll start giving you very slippery properties, kind of like soap. There we go. As we do a second wipe down, you can see it's starting to sheet off now, and actually it's a little bit more grippy for my sponge. You can actually hear the difference. Again, no pressure. I'm simply just dragging this across. Now I'm going a little bit further down just because I don't want anything else to dry up down here. So already, that's a big improvement over what it was prior to spraying the Ferrex on there. So this is just a good way to make sure anything that's an iron deposit remover. So that'll get anything that has iron in it removed. It does a pretty good job. Okay. Again, I'm not using a lot of pressure. Virtually no pressure, actually. Okay. Now, the next step, if for some reason after you wash the Ferrex off, it's still not as hydrophobic as you'd like, the next step is you would clay the vehicle. The big thing about clay is using a clay bar or the Nano Mitt like we're going to use. That acts as like a... think of it this way. When you wash your hands after you get super dirty with like grease and dirt and oil and whatnot, all of that will sit into your pores or the cracks of your hands. And if you just take soap and rub over top of it, you'll have some left in the pores. So you'll have to use a heavier soap to try to get that out. So that's essentially what we're doing. The pores, in this case, is where the chemical decontamination works the best. So the chemical gets into the pores, and I'm using that as the hand analogy. It gets into the pores and it helps get that out chemically, because when you use the clay or the Nano Mitt, it's going to skim over top of that and you're not actually going to get in there. So that helps with the pores. You can either clay first or do this first or the chemical first. I prefer to do the chemical first because it saves me a step. If for some reason I do the chemical because it is sitting on the surface, and it gets it all done in one shot, then that's less work I have to do in the long run. If you are going to clay your vehicle, please make sure you wash it first, then clay. Don't clay with the dirt on top of the surface already. So that's what we're going to do next. Now, you have two ways you can do this. With this mixture of the O&R inside the spray bottle, you can either use it as a quick detailer outside or even inside. I use this to clean the inside of vehicles too. Or it is slick enough that you can use it as a clay lube. So this is option number one. Spray this on, get it nice and saturated, even though we just had it on there, but this is a thicker dilution. Okay, and we're going to take I'm going to take the Nano Mitt because that's what I have, and I prefer to use this. Okay, I soak mine in O&R as well. And since it's nice and slick, you're just going to gently rub over top. You can see it's already doing a better job of repelling the water. You may not be able to see it in the video, actually. You want to gently rub it across the surface. Okay. And it will slowly feel cleaner the more you go. You'll be able to feel the contaminants. If your vehicle's bad enough, you may actually be able to hear it. I like to dip back in, rinse all the stuff off of it. If you have an actual clay bar, you can do the same thing. Rinse off the bar in your O&R. Okay, that's option number one. Now, because we're not using a soap to do that, you can go back over with your O&R sponge and just rinse everything off. You can see it looks even better than when we just did the Ferrex. So that's good. These are going in the right direction, otherwise I wouldn't be doing this video. Now, another way, and I know Optimum likes to recommend this as well too, and it's kind of a nice time saver if someone ever comes to me for a wash and wax, is you can also clay using Optimum's car wax. There's no cleaning properties to this, but it's very, very, very slick because it's a wax. So another option is you can spray. You won't need as much. Spray the back of the vehicle or the area that you're going to do with the spray wax. And it smells great. It smells like coconut. Take your mitt and you can start to clay that way as well too. So these are two ways that you can clay your vehicle with Optimum products. And the nice thing about claying with the wax is you can pretty much stop there. You can then wipe it down. I don't like to do that. One way, which I'm going to show you, what I like to do to make sure, because I know a lot of you watching may be going, well, hang on, if you're using a wax, how do you know that the hydrophobic properties are going to be from the coating and not the wax? Well, that's where we're going to go into here. So what I do, after clay barring with the wax, take your O&R sponge again, wipe it all down, make sure you get it all off. Okay. And even if you're not sure if it's all off, that's fine, because what we're going to do next, as long as it looks clean, okay, what we're going to do next is you're going to take a microfiber towel, and next up is we are going to use Optimum Paint Prep. Now what this does is it will dissolve and remove any waxes or oils that may still be on the surface. This is usually what I use to prep before a coating, but this will tell you, if you spray this on, if you spray it on, it will dissolve any of that wax that you just clay barred with, and you just simply wipe it off. And whatever's left, you will know is just the coating. Now it's very, very saturated, so I'm feeling that it's not going to quite dry here, but there we go. So that is how you decontaminate. There are a couple different ways you can do it. That's a chemical and physical. Now if I were to go back over top of this, this should be just the coating, not wax, nothing else. This is just the coating. You can see how hydrophobic that is. We're back down to just the coating. And what you can do at this point, I like to do one last wash after paint prep in this scenario just because you're doing a verification anyway. Okay, so you're washing it with your O&R, flip your sponge over, you know you're good, it looks just like it's supposed to, and now you're going to dry it. So we're going to have our waffle weave drying towel here, and now we bring in Opti-Seal. It's a polymer sealant, lasts up to 6 months. It does not have UV protection properties, but it does have water repellency. So it's kind of like Opti Ultra Light. It is great as a drying aid. So you can either do one spray on here or one spray on your towel. Now since this is a dry, fresh towel, I'm actually going to do 2 sprays to make sure that it's there. And then you're simply just going to wipe your area clean and dry. Again, it's a fresh towel, so it may not dry the first couple passes, but and there you go. That is it. All done. So this half is now decontaminated. Simple as that. If you have any questions, please let me know. You can leave a comment down in the comment section. Go to thebeardeddetailer.com for any information. Any of the products you've seen used here today can be purchased in the swag store. So check that out. Go over to the blog and check out any of the vehicles that I've done. And if you have any questions, be sure to share, like, comment, ask away. That's it. If you have an idea for a video you'd like to see me do, demonstrate a product in a certain way, please let me know. Leave it in the comments, message me on Facebook, Instagram, whatever you need to do, and I'll do it for you. I don't mind helping out because not everyone can bring their vehicles to me, but if there's a way that I can help you, I would more than happily do that. So that's it. Until next time, I'm Christoph, and I'll see you later.